A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, as you know, we were into the third chapter of your book political theory, and the name of the chapter is equality. And in the previous videos we were doing the dimensions of equality, that what are the important dimensions to understand equality. So we had done that political equality, social equality, and today we shall be trying to understand what do we understand by economic equality. And by this equality, these are the important dimensions to understand the concept of equality, where we are taking various examples of India and other places worldwide. So let's start and try and understand what do we mean by economic equality. So this is a simple term, you know it very well already. At the simplest level, if you see at the simplest level, we would say that economic inequalities exist in a society if there are significant differences in wealth, property, or income. So normally, if we will say and we'll try to understand the inequality among the people in the society, so we'll try and measure the wealth, property, and income which different people are having as individuals. So on the basis of the property, wealth, income, or profession, we would make distinctions between various individuals as they are having economic equality or not. Okay, one one way of measuring the degree of economic inequality is a society would be to measure the relative difference between the richest and the poorest. And one important measuring element, we can say, to see the inequalities or equal opportunities between the individual in a society is to measure the relative difference. We'll see the difference, which are the people who are the richest and which social group is the poorest group. So another way could be estimate the number of people who live below poverty line. So one way is where we will see what is the difference between the people who are at the richest level and who are at the poorest level. And other is we will estimate the number of people who live below the poverty line. So we'll see the people who live below the poverty line. Of course, absolute equality of wealth or income has probably never existed in society. So we can say that equality doesn't mean that everyone will have equal wealth, equal properties, equal income or profession, all will have the same profession and same post, because this has never been existed in any society around the world. So when we talk about the equality, it means equality of opportunities, and these opportunities should be given by the society. As we say, some inequalities are natural. Okay, most democracies today try to make equal opportunities available to people. So whenever we'll see any democratic country around the world in the recent time, you will see that they try that they provide equal opportunities at least to each and every individual of their country, and it would be at least and that would determine the chance to improve their condition. So on the basis of opportunities and skills and talents, an individual can improve the condition of his family, his lifestyle. So here we talk about the equal opportunities. When we talk about equality, it means providing equal opportunities to all the people in the society, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, religion, language, etc. So they should not be discriminated on the factors which or the inequalities which are brought up by the society. Okay, now moving forward, with equal opportunities, inequalities may continue. With equal opportunities, still if we give equal opportunities to each and every individual of our society, still inequalities may continue to exist between individuals, but there will be possibility of improving one. But there will be always chances where if someone has desire, capacity and skills to improve and use opportunities given to them, there will be always a possibility of improving one's position in the society with sufficient effort. So if they put effort, they can improve their position and status in the society. So it will also depend on a particular individual, then how they use those opportunities which are given to everyone. So it is a duty of the government and the administration to provide the equal opportunities for the equal providing equality to the people. Equality does not mean giving equal status of wealth, property and income to everyone. It is about the opportunities basically. Okay, now let's move forward. Inequalities which are entrenched, that is which remain relatively untouched over generations, are more dangerous. Some type of if we say some type of inequalities are untouched, which we think that those are natural, and those type of inequalities are very dangerous for the society. For example, if in a society certain class of people have enjoyed considerable wealth, we also suppose that some part or some group of society of our society are very good with wealth. They have all the powers because they have wealth, so they have all the powers, they have the political, social, economic control. So this have been going on since generations. One after the other, they are following the same lifestyle. Same way, in the there are some social groups in the society which are very poor and backward, and they continue to live their life like that, and they accept the fact that this is the status of their social group in the society, and they have to be like that. So this should not happen, because this is the most dangerous inequalities which can exist in a society. Over time, such class differences can give rise to resentment and violence, because with passage of time and in the future, there will be resentment, and there can be a environment or the environment of violence in the society because of these differences, because of the power of wealthy classes. So because of the wealth, the wealthy people, the status, the highest status the people are having, they have all the control of the politics, as I told you. So they don't want the differences, or don't want to prove that difficult to reform such a society to make its own open egalitarian. So they don't want society to be based on egalitarian. They don't want anyone to be treated equally as them. They want differences in the status, as it has been going since generations. So they are wealthy, so they control the functioning of the society very well. So for example, it is shown to you here racial inequalities in United States. You know about United States, there was racial inequalities between black and white. There has always been discrimination on the basis of color. So they have seen in 1968, this is a graph. In 1968, minimum wages were at this level. Now this has increased to 35% decrease till 2006. This is a real shown map which shows the minimum wages which our labor is getting there. And this is top 20% own 83% of all wealth. If you see the all wealth and property of United States, it is taken, or it is controlled by only 20% of the men of US. Okay. Income inequalities, if you see the bottom 20, if you see the bottom 20 population of United States, they do not have any wealth. So this is a difference. You can say 83% of the total wealth is controlled only by, or is owned only by 20% of the people, whereas 20% of the people do not have any wealth in United States. Then here, 1 million African men under 40 are behind bar. See, 1 million African, they are black people, around 1 million under 40 who are under the age of 40 are behind bar. They are in the jails. Okay, around 1 million. 13% of black male adults have lost the right to vote. 13% of the black men in living in United States, they do not have the right to vote. The dream differed. So you can see that differences. So here they are not getting the opportunities, equal opportunities. Find out more about the racial inequalities in US. So you have to find something more about racial inequalities in the US. Which group in our country suffer from similar inequalities? Then we have to compare this racial discrimination with our country. What are the problems in our country? Are they similar, or what are the differences? What are the problems with which the people in our society suffer inequalities? What kind of policies have been adopted in US to reduce this inequality? What are the policies adopted by US government to reduce this inequality, so that they can end this discrimination on the basis of white and black? So they are asking, is there something to be learned from their experience? Can we learn and implement something from the experience of US? Can they learn, or the US can learn something from our society, our experience? Okay, so these are all related to economic equality. Okay, I hope you have understood this equality, economic equality. With this, we come to the end of this topic. In the next part, we shall continue the chapter. Thank you.